Can I ask you something? Because you're both citing it. What you're doing
I'm not both citing it. I lean more left.
It's called a...
I lean more...
What you're doing,
I'm a libertarian. I've talked about this.
Calm down. I haven't said a word.
Okay.
Okay. What you're doing is called both siding. It's the attempt to pretend that you have neutral positions when you don't have neutral positions. And that's what you're doing is you're both siding. For instance, you said, you're talking about Nazis and woke. Andrew, you call everybody a degenerate. Andrew, you call everybody a Marxist. No, I call Marxist Marxist. I call communist communist. I call degenerates degenerates. I ask you, would you call a Nazi a Nazi? Yeah. So what's the difference?
Some of the ways you describe people, I don't agree with that.
Is somebody who participates in gangbangs nightly a degenerate?
Yes.
Okay. Is somebody...
But the majority of people on the left aren't doing gangbangs.
That's not what I'm asking, though. Is somebody who says that they're a Stalinist communist, are they Marxist?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then is somebody who is wearing a uniform that says SS and has a swastika on it, are they a Nazi?
Yes, but you're conflating half the population as one thing and half the population as something else.
When have I done these?
I've literally watched.
When have I done these
your
things?
Interviews, not all of them. And you literally say, I know I'm Christian, but I hate the left.
I do. It's true.
Yeah, I mean,
I do fucking hate leftists.
Yeah, it's.
God will one day punish my eternal soul
for
the fact that I just cannot bring myself to not hate fucking leftists.
Well, okay, then you shouldn't be preaching morals to the world.
Why not? Because of false.
Preach the morals, just don't do it in the name of Jesus if you're going against what Jesus says.
So just be perfect.
Don't be perfect, but you.
So how imperfect am I allowed to be?
Don't be vain. You're not supposed to be vain.
How is that vanity? That's me. That's the opposite of vanity. Me saying I have a moral failing, right? An aspect of my own morality that's very difficult for me a demon that's very difficult for me to surmount, which is I know I'm not supposed to hate people. I know that. But I also can't fucking help but hate leftists. I can't. And by the way, that's a struggle that Christians all over the United States have every single day. Wouldn't it be the opposite of vanity if I say to people, if I were to go, hey, I'm fucking perfect in every conceivable way. I'm without flaw. I am awesome in every conceivable way. That's vanity. Wouldn't the opposite of vanity me saying, look, I know that I have a high moral standard. And I know I myself at times don't live up to that high moral standard, which is part of Christian ethics. Isn't that the opposite of being vain?
No, I think being vain is not working on it and then openly saying, like you did to Charlie, I'm better than you, and calling her dumb and stuff like that. I don't think that's the correct way to go about it. She shouldn't
open her stupid mouth about my wife then.
That was before that happened, actually. It was right before. But
no, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. It was after. I'll bet you $100 it was after.
I know for sure the stupid thing came before.
Well, perhaps we shouldn't have a meta conversation about.
Oh well, no, that's true. I called her stupid, but stupid has nothing to do with. Was I attacking her family? No, I didn't do any of that. Me saying you have a stupid position, or that's idiotic, or that's moronic, right? That's light stuff.
Well, like, blessed are the meek, blessed are the peacemakers. And the thing about Christianity is you're supposed to strive and work to be, for the way I perceive Jesus is literally trying to get to discipleship, which means like following all of the commandments and not using like being forgiven as, and being a sinner as an excuse to keep doing it. You have to always work towards being better instead of just accepting like, oh, this is me. You have to work for that. And it doesn't.
I've told this story many times, the story of the monk. I don't know if you've heard that before. It was a monk who was an alcoholic his entire life. And then when he died, people were crying. And one monk said, why are you crying? He was drunk his entire life. And they were so happy because he had cut his booze consumption down by half. Just meant that the entirety, he was trying to overcome that demon his entire life, and he couldn't quite do it. Okay? I get it. I understand. Right? If you think that I don't struggle with the fact that I do have heavy hatred in my heart for leftists, you're wrong. Struggle with it all the time. I understand that I'm not a perfect person, I've always understood I'm not a perfect person. I also understand these people do everything that they can to make sure I fucking hate them too.
A lot of that is
Everything they
media
can do to
and
make sure I hate
lack of
them.
education. So yeah,
They're the most
a lot of it's
educated people.
propaganda on both sides.
They're the most educated people on the planet.
Who, the OnlyFans girls you have on the show?
No,
or-
leftists.
Yes, and you think with more education comes more wisdom, or
That's what your point just was 5 seconds ago. 5 seconds ago, you're like, it's lack of education. They're the
No,
most
I mean the
educated
people on your on like this that comes on this show is what I was talking about.
Most of them have more education than I do.
Yeah, that's why I see things from a bigger picture. Our educational system is fucked. Like, I watch this show and I'm like, wow, where's the world coming to? But I also watch on the left when they ask similar questions about history and stuff and government, and they're just as clueless. So I that's why I think I have an advantage
No, they're just monstrous.
of just
They're just monsters.
seeing the bigger picture of like. I mean, we're all fucked up. We're all kind of dumb, and instead of fighting each other, maybe we should just work on fixing the issues.
Yeah, the problem is that we can't even agree on what the descriptors of the issues are.
Well, I think we should start with just what do they call it? Table issues. No, we don't.
Okay.
We all can agree.
Give me a table issue.
A good economy. We can all agree on ending corruption.
Okay, great. So
we can all agree on, yeah.
Let's start with this, like a good economy. Would you agree with me that it would lower housing prices if we were to deport every illegal immigrant tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, great. Do you think that the left's going to go along with that?
No.
No. So I don't understand
Well-
how. So how is it that when you have a table issue, you say, okay, here's an issue. I want a good economy. Go, okay, great. If we can
But
start
let's
with,
dive
hang on.
deeper into that.
Let me finish the point.
Okay.
How is it that if I can't find any common ground with these people, how are we supposed to surmount these ideological differences exactly? Can you tell me how to do that?
If you stick to the basic common ground, first of all, like the housing market issue isn't an issue of, like, it might contribute, like the legals might contribute a little bit, but that's
You see what I mean? We can't even
chunk.
agree on descriptors. So if we can't even agree on descriptors of problems, how is it that you expect that we're
You
going
have to look at everything as a full picture. You can't.
Wait, stop. Let him finish.
Yeah.
All right. I'll tell you what. Let's do it this way. Tell me the full picture.
The full picture, in my imaginary, perfect situation of how to fix things is, the first thing we need to do is vote out all the puppets and vote.
Hang on. Who's we?
We the people, everyone
people.
on both sides. Forget the culture wars. Let's just have a small truce until the agreed upon terms are agreed upon, and then we can get to the cultural issues.
Okay. And who are the puppets we're voting out? What are their names?
What are the puppets' names?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not just one person. It's the corporations.
Okay,
It's the CIA.
The corporations aren't names of people. Who
No.
are the puppets we're voting out? What are their names?
You just vote based off of the PACs that have contributed to their funds.
No, I'm asking about names. What are the names of the people we should be voting out?
Mostly all of them.
Who? Give me some names.
I can say who to keep. Keep Thomas Massey. Keep Rand Paul. MTJ. I'm sure she's going to come back. On the left, what's the dude that was teaming with?
Yeah, I know, but who are the global puppets that we're going to come together to get rid of?
There's easy ways to look at this.
Okay.
There's websites where you can look at their campaign fund contributions, and you can actually see how they vote on certain things, whether it seems directly correlated to like money or PACs like
You see the
for
vagary?
Israel.
Do you see how vague you are?
It's not vague.
Well, hang on. You're saying what you're doing is you're saying it's us versus them, we versus those. Okay, I understand that. But who's the we and who are the they?
We the people deciding to.
Well, these are people.
Whoever's on your side, if you elected them and they promise all these things and they're going directly against what you elected them for, plus have PAC contributions from like corporations, and if they're getting rich by trading stock, that sort of thing, then maybe they should go.
Yeah, but the problem is that we live in a democracy. Democracies are set up in power structures, and the power structures are set up based around people's interests. So people have learned that they can raid the treasury by having X amount of people who are representing their interests in office.
Exactly.
So there is no, hang on, no. If that's exactly, then your point's contradicted.
No.
Yeah,
I wasn't
hang on,
done.
I'm going to explain how your point's contradicted. Because there is no we. There is no collective. What there is there's a whole bunch of different power blocks all competing for their own interests in the United States for power.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
I agree with that.
So when you say we should put our petty differences aside, well, they're not petty differences. They're massive differences. There is no collective we. There's groups and blocks of people who are competing for power, utilizing the democratic process. That's what's happening. So how do you plan on surmounting that barrier? How can I go?
Vote for people who...
vote. We're going to vote harder. We're going to vote our way out of this.
Either that or a revolution. This is my last attempt. This is...
Who are we having a revolution against? The voting bloc is just as bad as the elites they put in power. So who the fuck are we supposed to revolt against? Am I supposed to revolt? Let's say I did. Let's say we did tomorrow. We revolted against the government. Let's just say, right? Who's we then? Which power bloc is revolting against which block of government in order to get power? Which one am I supposed to support? Because the way that the democracy is set up, it's not a monolith. It is independent power interests, and they're all voting against the interest of other people and in their own interest.
That's why we need to hire people who have taken PAC money, and their biggest objectives to start off with is repealing the laws that got this situation here to begin with.
Yeah, but the problem, you can't do that, and here's why. If you have PACs and super PACs out there right now who are supporting abortion rights for women, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So all the people who want abortion rights, all the women who want abortion rights, they want those PACs donating. They think they're benevolent. They think that's good. And so on the other side, the people who are anti-abortion, who think that you're murdering tons and tons and tons of children, right? They support PAC endeavors, which are designed to put politicians in place, which will put local legislation against things like abortion.
I'd say no PACs. What I would do in a perfect world is get rid of the PACs altogether and use government funding and give them all equal amount to campaign on and take that out of.
So you're going to give all the power of the vote to the media?
To the media?
Yeah. Well,
and I mean, there's more than just the media.
So let's say that
there's more than just the media. There's door knocking.
If you had, let's say you had 4 politicians, right? And all of them were funded with public financing. They all got the same amount. Let's say it was $1 million, right? Let's just say it was. Whichever politician mass media covers the most, that's actually going to be the politician that wins. It doesn't matter the money at that point, because media who's covering them, they'll always be able to pump in whatever money they want. They'll end up electing the person that they want.
Well, maybe we should make laws against that as well.
What do those look like?
Know.
You don't. Yeah, exactly. You don't know. You don't know.
I'm not a lawmaker. My whole thing is us as a people.
Yeah, I thought you had this great bird's eye view and understood how it all works.
I understand what's happening, and I understand if we all work together, we can start making some steps in the right direction.
How are we going to work together? We can't even agree on the issues.
I don't know what you've been watching, but this has been spreading all over media that of this pact, or of we all agree on America first. We all agree on.
We don't agree on that.
The majority of us do.
No, the majority of us don't.
Yes, America First was kind of more of a Dem thing. Like, we were tired of all the wars this whole time. America First kind of came in.
No, America First was the idea, was Trump capturing the idea of the American family again. The idea that you could have a single income and support an entire family by utilizing a tax system based on tariffs against our enemies and making it fair again. That was one of the. That was probably the core idea of America.
No,
hang on. Let me finish my point.
Okay.
The core idea of America First was that, right? The idea that he was going to get rid of all the illegal immigrants, things like that. Yes, that's true that that was a core part of his message, but ultimately he was trying to reinvigorate and recapture the idealism of the American family. That is what America First really was.
Well, I'd say the majority of the population believes America First is taking care of us before we start bombing people and funding Israel and bailing people out.
I agree, but
listen,
who's we again? When you say taking care of us first, we is the American family.
It is the same thing because you act like Dems don't want to have families and stuff.
They fucking hate families.
Can you look up the statistics on that?
There actually is something on this. Hey, Nathan, can you go pull up the Discord? Do you know our Discord?
Well,
we do have some data on this. I have an infographic. Nathan, let me know when you're on the Discord. Okay, so you're going to scroll down. There's a research tab in our Discord, so that it's not it's closer to the bottom, and you're going to see whatever stats, infographics. Do you see the infographics? Okay, and then if you scroll 3 up. Do you see the NBC News decision desk poll?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to click on that, and then there's 2 photos. Click on the first one, and then, put it window tab. Click on the image. All right. You might have to, I'm just going to read it. But so this is women who voted for Harris. They have... this is the importance to personal definition of success. So at the very top, for women who voted for Harris, Democrats, fulfilling job career, 51%. At the very bottom, here, you're going to have to hide us. Okay, in the sources tab, do you see where it says right corner? Just hide us temporarily, yeah. So it says for women who voted for Harris, it's being married, 6%, having children, 6%, and then mouse over to the next image. Yeah, click that one and then click on it. And this is men who vote for Harris, being married 11%, having children 9%. You can compare and contrast that with the women who voted for Trump versus the men who voted for Trump. Interestingly enough, can you go back to the other one? So men who voted for Trump, having children is at the very top
priority.
there, being married 29, and you contrast that with women who voted for Harris. Actually, men who voted for Trump have a higher priority for having children, being married, than even women who voted for Trump. Can you just pull up the other one really quick again? So even women who voted for Trump, they actually rank being married and having children lower than men who voted for Trump, but it's still greater than Democrats.
I think what contributes to that is where we are financially. I do agree there's more people on the left that don't want kids, but we were raised...
Because they're antinatalist monsters.
See, they're
antinatalism.
You see, that's what you got to work on. Okay, so...
Well, I mean, what do you want me to say? They abort their kids.
When the baby boom happened, right?
The baby boom?
Yeah, like, boomers.
Yeah, he's talking, yeah.
And all of that, it happened when our economy was in a great space. I think people are waiting to get married till they're older and have kids till they're older because
of feminism?
That has a part to it, but it's freaking expensive.
Andrew was asking you a good question as to, you're saying we should all unite and get together, but Andrew said, well, we don't even agree on some of these basic issues. Just curious, what's your position on what? But he brought up illegal immigration, for example, and how that has an impact on the economy. The housing stock in this country is diminished if it's, occupied by illegal immigrants. Are you in favor of deporting all the illegal immigrants in this country?
I have a middle ground. I would deport
both sides.
The world has a middle ground. Literally nothing is black and white.
Two questions.
Can I finish the answer?
Yeah. Just let me revise the question.
Yes, deport most of them.
Hold on. Should we completely bar, have stronger border protection?
Yes.
So barring people from entering the country illegally, and then the second question, of the people who have arrived here illegally, who are here, should we just deport them?
My stance is for sure have the best border security as possible.
Okay.
As for the people who have been here for a long time, have created businesses and really integrated into our society with no criminal records, I think it's actually cheaper to come up with a plan for them to become legal instead of kicking them out.
So amnesty.
Yeah, I mean, they have to pay, like, if they don't, a lot of them do pay taxes, but back taxes and fines and get on the list, and there definitely should be some, like, fines.
So
and
when
stuff
we
like
get
that.
together to agree on these table issues, right?
Yeah.
Should we agree with you and give amnesty to these people?
Financially, I think it's cheaper, first of all, but
Would it be cheaper to not?
Well, hang on a second, Brian, because
yeah.
I'm just...
I think as American and democracy, we should all work together, and it's not all black or white, like the
Yeah, I
most
know,
right or to the
But that's
most
not my
left.
question. My question is like when we say we here, most
We vote on
most
it.
people on the right. Yeah, okay, we vote on it. We did. We voted in Trump.
Yeah, the
So
issue.
the thing is like here's the question though. The question is, should we, when you say we, the collective we, who are all supposed to be working hand in hand, should we just follow what you're saying and give amnesty to illegals?
I think if you look at what the polls say, the majority of people aren't cool with what's happening. They
Talking
think,
about ICE.
yeah, they think it went too far, and it's not really. We all agree law and order is necessary, but the way it's been going about.
Well, it's amazing
is
to
bad.
me that you want the collective we to get together to do things you want.
I think we all want. We're all tired of the hate.
Yeah, I don't think
and-
that there's a collective we. When you say
Well, there-
we, you just mean me.
Okay, no, I'm not.
Yeah, you
I
do.
watch both left and right politics. We're all talking about the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I get from not picking sides completely. Literally, Trump's poll numbers are like 37 right now. All of the
Yeah, so
podcasters
Obama's poll numbers were really low too.
all of the podcasters who helped get Trump elected, except for a few, they all agree with what I'm saying. Even
Which
like,
ones?
Like Joe Rogan, David Smith, Candace Owens.
You think Joe Rogan
Dave's-
agrees with you?
That ICE went too far? Yeah, he said it in his videos.
And really, he didn't say it when I was talking to him.
I don't know if you've watched Joe Rogan, but he kind of like agrees with everybody.
I don't know if
he
you
has
talked to Joe
on.
Rogan, but I have.
Yeah, I saw you talk
I don't
to
know
Joe
what you're
Rogan.
talking, but no, that didn't appear to be what his position
Well,
was. He appeared
should
to
we
think,
pull that up?
He appeared to think that leftists were part of a massive conspiracy, and what that
I saw that. I watched your episode.
Yeah. So then, what are you talking about?
He's saying the riots did, but in his previous videos, he has said that ICE went too far, and the
No,
way
he
they're-
didn't actually say that.
And with the masks and
What he said, he was
his
making,
recent video, he
Yeah.
had the conspiracy that like it was orchestrated
It's not a
for
conspiracy.
a reason to cover up
It's
the fraud that was happening in Minnesota.
it's not a conspiracy.
I mean, most of the
fact
stuff that's
matter
happening is funded by different sides. I agree with that, but he does agree. ICE in general has gone too far.
I don't think-
And Trump, with the way he's
That's not
deporting
what I heard
people-
from him.
Can we look it up?
If you want to take an out of context clip, because I know the one you're referencing.
No, I watch every one of his episodes.
Okay, then what was the episode called?
There was multiple of them. We have to go
So
back.
name one
several
of them.
months. Does anyone know names of people's episodes?
Yes.
I think
Yes, they do.
I think it was maybe a Dave Smith episode. Can we look this up, internet?
I mean, I don't know if there's copyright considerations if we pull up a clip.
But not just that. Besides, I'll even grant Rogan. Let's just say that Rogan does.
It's not just Rogan, it's all over the
Yeah. Well,
all over.
okay. Who else?
Dave Smith, Candace Owens.
Dave Smith's a
He's libertarian, I know.
Dave Smith's a libertarian, right? Not a right winger at all.
Well, yeah.
Candace Owens is a conspiracy nutcase.
Literally half your side is a conspiracy nutcase. Joe Rogan is too.
Okay.
I love it. Most of the conspiracies come out true.
They do they?
I mean, to a point, yeah.
You know what my brother said?
Like this Pizzagate
My brother said
thing,
something really funny. and
coming out
I'm about to
true.
I'm about to get whatever canceled. My brother said something super funny. He said that Candace Owens needs to get to the back of the algorithm. That's he said that, bro. Yeah. But anyway,
just to be fair, I did look up your claim about Joe Rogan. Apparently, in an episode January 2026. This is an AI overview. Sometimes it's incorrect, but at least it does say that Joe Rogan, compared their tactics to the Gestapo and did suggest they went too far.
And then
by detaining individuals, including U.S. citizens, on the streets without proper cause.
First of all, I saw that episode, right? And in context, he was having a conversation about this with the guest. He wasn't actually adopting that position. That's one. The second is
That's what he does in all of his episodes.
The second is that his position, at least when I talked to him, was that he understood that, hey, there is definitely an orchestrated plan by leftists in order to agitate using and they use a mathematical formula to do it. They agitate in order to get feds to overreact, and when the feds overreact, then they justify their garbage fucking politics by saying that they're the Gestapo.
Well, there's the same thing conspiracy on the right that if you look at Project 2025 beforehand, it kind of plans this sort of thing using military action and stuff.
Well, hold on. Before we get into Project 2025, even
there's the same conspiracy on the left, is what I'm saying.
Look, even if we're going to go ahead and grant and say, yes, ICE has made certain mistakes here, law enforcement, they're humans, they make mistakes. In all kinds of different professions, people make mistakes. Law enforcement makes mistakes. But in terms of their core mission, their foundational base mission, which is to deport genuine illegal immigrants, do you object to their core mission?
I don't object to that. But the one thing...
Yeah, you do. You want amnesty.
Not complete amnesty. Okay. It's a long-term solution. But another Joe Rogan quote was, and a lot of others said that
Joe Rogan's not here, but
I know we voted to deport all the criminals.
True. He's not. But it's not just that.
It's not just him either. It's
Joe Rogan.
Most people think we went too far.
He's more of a middle of the road guy. Dave Smith's a libertarian. When you're talking about right wingers, I want to hear right wingers, the right wingers who would agree with your plan for amnesty. Who are they?
I'm not talking about...
By the way, Dave Smith wouldn't agree with that plan for amnesty either.
I didn't talk about amnesty. I said that in general, Trump's campaign was about criminals and rapists.
Yeah, but what would actually be...
They never said they were going to bring masked people.
These people have committed a crime by entering the country illegally.
They should be deported. I get that. I'm saying
I'm a little confused. On one hand, you said you want
I think there's a cheaper, better solution. Yeah, deport people, but...
Well, can I ask you a question really quick? You say it's cheaper. Do you think, as far as having illegal immigrants in this country, the only thing that we're focused on is purely the economics of it?
No.
Like there's other factors too, perhaps.
No, I agree. You don't want the white race to
your
go
argument
away.
is, it would be cheaper to have them create a pathway to allow them to stay here. Wouldn't it be technically cheaper? Let's say hypothetically there was a murderer, but you have precognition. You know that he will only have committed that one murder and he will never murder again, and he will otherwise be a law-abiding citizen from there on out. You would agree that it would be cheaper to not, have law enforcement attempt to investigate the murder and, go through the criminal prosecution process. It would be cheaper, right, to just let the murderer off?
What I'm talking about is...
No, but answer the question.
Oh, of course it would be cheaper.
Right. But just because something's cheaper doesn't necessarily mean that is the right course of action.
Well, I think the right course of action is to do investigations like that on these people who've been here for a long time, because that's cheaper. I think
you said it's cheaper to let them just give them pathway to citizenship. Which may be true. I mean,
it is true, but I think investigation and just like how, what we should make sure that they're not criminals and have a good standing in society.
A crime by entering the country illegally.
I speed all the time. That's a civil crime.
Do you think speeding is equivalent to being here illegally?
We would do the same thing. It's not, if you're trying to save your family and your wife, that's not evil.
Law enforcement does enforce speeding. They'll give out speeding tickets.
I actually agree with you. We would do the same thing. So what?
Yeah, the difference is, I guess, empathy. I mean,
No.
that
Suicidal
I know you
empathy?
don't have empathy. It's not suicidal empathy. I want the majority of them to be deported. That's not too much empathy.
do?
That's having some empathy.
So the thing here that's funny is it's anytime you talk to both sides, they're always leftists, and they're always libs, and they're always like, hey,
not true.
you know, the thing is, you just said that you were more on the left side than the right side.
That's because of social freedom. If you look at libertarians, they want social freedom, and considering both sides have completely fucked our government with spending, I'm going to go more towards the Dems.
What libertarians want is they want social freedom affirmed by property rights. The United States is property of the citizens of the United States. From the libertarian ethos, deporting fucking people who aren't supposed to be here would be just fine and appropriate and
let's
good.
put that to the states to decide if they want them to gone or not. Isn't that more libertarian?
No.
To let the states decide if they want the people out or not?
So here's the thing that's funny. It's like, okay, you agree that the border states, those are the ones who would take the brunt of that, right? And those states would basically be utilizing their resources to protect all the states behind them.
The brunt of what? Allowing people to vote on it, or what?
Of people legally crossing. Like, for instance, the Texas border, Californian border, these Arizona, these are going to be states that are going to take the brunt of illegal immigration, right?
Yeah, then let them have laws and the government can pay for the funding to keep it secure.
But then how does that up to the states then?
It's up to the states to make their own laws regarding who can stay and who has
Yeah,
to
great.
go.
And then one state says you can have complete amnesty here. And then all the illegals go into that state, get amnesty, and then go back to the other state that they want to go to.
See, everything in life has consequences. And when you want a smaller
They
government...
do. It does? Does everything in life? That's crazy. I didn't know everything.
Usually
in life
when
had
people make
consequences.
dumb mistakes in law, they correct them. We're a young nation. That's how we grow.
Yeah. Do you know how you correct this? You get rid of the illegals. All of them.
I don't think the majority of our issues are illegal immigrants. That's what I'm trying to say. Illegal
What
immigrants
are the
is
majority of our issues?
I would say our tax structure and our $39 trillion in debt.
Yeah. So let's talk about our tax structure. You want us to pay 90% like Sanders?
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Okay. How much?
I say literally just start with getting rid of the loopholes for I think it's more the corporations. I think wealthy people who like are doctors and stuff, they're paying pretty high taxes. If you look at the corporate tax rate says it's at 21%, but it's actually with all the reductions and kickbacks and stuff, averaged at 11%. But if you look at the rich, and it goes from poorest corporations.
Okay. So you want to raise taxes on corporations?
Get rid of the loopholes first off.
That would
I
raise
think,
their taxes, right?
Yeah, I think that would make a big difference.
That would raise their taxes,
Yes.
right? Okay. Let me ask you a question. If a corporation's making a product for you to buy, which is what they're doing, and you raise their taxes, what happens to the price of that product?
It could go up.
Oh, it could? Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't aware. Do corporations pass on the cost of a product to the consumer?
Yeah.
Oh, you
so
got
do
it.
tariffs.
Wait a second. Hang on.
The tariffs are adding cost to the consumer as well.
Wait, I'm super confused though. So you want to get rid of the tariff because it's adding on cost to the consumer, but you want to raise corporate taxes, which is adding cost to the consumer.
Well,
brilliant plan.
My plan's bigger in the future. Since AI is taking over and we're all basically going to be jobless. Yeah, I think the corporations,
yes.
There needs to be an excessive wealth tax. What's crazy, if 10% of the S&P 500 pays zero corporate taxes, and a lot of them are getting money back from the government, and I think that's crazy. In your brilliant time of the 1950s, Yeah, we didn't have this tax
When
structure.
have I
Since then,
ever advocated to go back to the 1950s? Ever.
I mean, you've talked about it a lot on this
Never
podcast.
happened once.
I mean, if you look at from the 1970s and above, the wealth distribution has gone from the middle class to the rich, and it's still increasing. And you can see what happened, and it didn't start with Reagan, but yeah, he did a good job getting.
So your plan is raising the prices of consumer goods. That's your plan.
That's Trump's plan too, right?
No. His plan was to utilize.
My plan
his plan was to utilize tariffs.
My plan is legit. If you look at graphs, we're becoming poor, and what you would call the Epstein class keeps getting richer, and they're the ones controlling what I also
the average
call a
American
shadow
is
government.
getting richer, not poorer. What are you talking about?
Can you look up a graph
Yeah, all you gotta do is
showing the
look-
1950s to now about wealth distribution?
Yeah, no. It's not about wealth distribution. Show instead.
That's
hang on.
inflation.
Show instead poverty line, the poverty line. How do you agree with me right now that way more people are above the poverty line than they
Do
have
you know
been?
how the poverty line is created?
I do.
It's not realistic in a world with technology and stuff like that. That's an old school way of looking at it. If you look at it with realistic today's standards, the poverty line is much higher than
Yeah,
that.
and how many millionaires do we have right now?
I don't know.
The most
I'm not
in
even
history?
worried about. Yeah, I'm worried about the corporations.
I know you want to raise taxes on corporations, thus raising prices on consumer goods.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fine.
great.
That's probably for the better.
Great.
If it takes our country out.
I can't wait to endorse this plan where I spend more money on things I buy.
You're doing that for tariffs.
No, you're not doing that for tariffs. Tariffs don't work that way. That's not the same thing at all.
My bigger picture is our society is going to collapse if we don't take down the debt. And how are we going to do that? We should make this government smaller, but also we're going to need more tax revenue, which that's where the corporations come in. And then once jobs are eliminated, if we don't have laws put in place, like an extreme wealth tax like they had in the 1950s, then
That nobody paid.
yeah, there was loopholes. Some people did pay it, but
Almost nobody paid it. Just so you know.
did they have the excess wealth?
Well, what they had was they had a marginal tax. So what would happen is if you reach certain threshold, then they would tax X amount of that.
Yeah,
They'd be
the
like,
average-
okay, now you made $10 million. At $10 million, we get 90% of that 10th million
Yeah,
or whatever.
the average actual corporate
But even
tax
if you
rate
did
was
that
41%.
right, even if you did that right now, it wouldn't put a dent in the debt. Wouldn't
That's
even
why I say
dent
we
it.
also need to make the government smaller. Thomas Massey's plan is to take 6 cents off of every
And
dollar
what does our
funding.
government spend the most money on?
Our debt and
No.
the military,
No.
and then
It spends
yeah.
the most amount of money on entitlements.
Yeah, get rid of entitlements.
Okay, so you want to both sides it and get all the people who are collecting Social Security to stop collecting Social Security.
They've paid for it. I think. No, they're paying
that's our
for-
biggest
I'm not
diss.
talking about everything, like every single thing. I'm saying reducing food stamps, reducing stuff like that. We're paying for our own retirement.
Sure, let's get
So
rid of-
I would make a law that says people born from this date, there's no longer Social Security. And what I would do is we don't need a post office. That's pretty
So
outdated.
people who've been paying into Social Security, they're now, I don't know.
That's why you
they're now,
start-
hang on, now they're 59 years old. They don't get it. Fuck them.
No, that's why I said we have to make this law in advance to start for people who haven't been born yet or paid for into Social Security.
So we're going to rack up another 60 years of debt?
No. There's other forms to deduct. The post office is completely useless. We need to take money off of everything. Everything's going to suffer a bit, but also, like Doge was supposed to do, we need a better system of people who aren't connected
You know what's
to...
funny? It's like I agree with you on some of the prescriptions that you have.
Yeah.
Right? For instance, shrinking the size of government in some arenas, I think is a great idea. Probably not the military, definitely entitlements. I think that I think the idea of a massive corporate tax is just going to raise consumer
I
good
don't want
prices.
a massive one.
But hang on. It's just, no matter what you do, it's going to raise consumer prices. So the thing is like, even if I agree to some of these prescriptions, if we're going back to the original point now, we're going to tie it back in. How the fuck are you going to get other people to agree with you on it? How? How are you going to get people to give up their entitlements? Saying I can do it. They're all voting in the interest of their entitlements. All of them. The whole reason democracy doesn't work in the long term, the reason that republicanism is much better, and the reason that the average person probably shouldn't vote at all is exactly this reason. Because once they realize they can raid the Treasury as a monolith, which now they know how to do by voting in politicians who will raid the Treasury in order to give them entitlements, democracy's fucked. The second that happens, it's fucked.
I think the left really needs to be, and I mean, everyone in general needs to be more educated on.
Oh, more educated.
No, I'm on the financial state of our country, because for so long, both sides have been like, oh, it's whatever, we print money sort of vibes, but no one really understands.
I don't want to educate the stupid. You can't educate them. You just don't let them vote. That's what you do. You just stop letting stupid fucking people vote.
I do